Hello, welcome back to our Northcoders graduation showcase. Last but not least, we have import team from Team.js with their app, Waypoint. Take it away.
Hi, hello. So, as you can see, Northcoders decided to schedule the best team for the end, so let's go for it. Might as well. Without further ado, let's introduce us. So we are import team from Team.js. There is Anthony, Matt, Alex, Chris, and that bearded dude. We are outgoing type of guys. When we're not in green places, we like to go to them, seek them on our time off. With what happened during the last few years, England is a fantastic place to go out and go outdoor and see things. So we thought we might as well stick and come up with something related to this. So today for you, we're going to present you Waypoint. Waypoint is a tour. It's a social tour guide app where you can record and share your routes and walks that you do with your friends. You can also add some point of interest with pictures along the way. And obviously you can review your friends and comment on their routes. And I'm going to put you through with Chris, who's going to show you the demo.
Thanks, Joel.
Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Right.
This is Waypoint. This is the screen that our users will be shown when they first load the app up. Here they can make a new account or log in if they already have one, as you can see here. When the app loads, they will be greeted with a very familiar looking social media style feed that shows a list of their friends' recent posts, and they can interact with these in the ways many people might expect. They can like on the posts and view and post comments, as we can see here. They can also view other people's profiles and see their recent activities and lists of their friends' followers. Here is the record screen where users can begin new routes to make posts. This is the profile page. Here we're logged in as Alex. We can see his most recent post here. When you click on it, you get a more detailed view, and you can click on the markers to view associated pictures and captions. Now, let's take a look behind the scenes of that route there as we follow Alex around Leeds. Here we can see Alex taking a picture and posting a comment, and as you can see there, here we can see Alex bringing up the phone's camera to take a picture and resize it however he likes, and then add on a associated comment. And when he's done, he can add a title and an optional description if he so chooses. And there we see the finished result. Right. That concludes the demo section of our presentation. Now I'll hand you over to Alex, and he can talk you through some of our tech choices.
Thanks. In the early stages of the project, we considered using a few different front frameworks, but we also had to make sure we had our proof of concept of being able to record GPS on the phone and had that down. So the first packages we found to help with that were based in Expo, so we stuck with React Native as a way to get the project going. And we found it really well supported and really convenient for us to work as a group across different platforms. To have Expo as a really convenient environment to have a common dev environment between different people. And yeah, we found that really great. In terms of preparation and planning, we did a lot of collaborative drawing, and we found that was a really good way to share ideas and to develop ideas working remotely and being in different places. Yeah, I'm going to hand over to Ant, who's going to talk about the backend tech stack.
Thank you. Yeah, so when it comes to the backend, we decided pretty early on that we're going to use Node as our runtime environment and Express as our framework. I think the main reason for this was we were pretty familiar with this and what we'd use in the course so far, and it would allow us to kind of use new techs with regards to the rest of the backend. So one of the first new techs we used was Amazon Web Services. I think the main reason for this was cloud-based services are quite big at the moment. And it was kind of a really good example to kind of dip our toe into that. We used it to store our pictures on there. The next tech we used was MongoDB. Again, during the course, we'd kind of used a SQL database. And I think exploring a non-SQL database or a NoSQL database would provide us with a bit more experience for when we leave the course. To go along with that, we used Mongoose, and that enabled us to manage our data properly and query our DB a little bit easier. To finish off the backend, we used Heroku, again, because we were familiar with it for hosting it. And again, Jest as a familiar testing library to enable us to test our database properly. Some of the difficulties that we encountered, that was one of our very first kind of GPS tracking results. Not great, as you can see. Just kind of came down to playing around with the tech, understanding kind of what it was after, what data it was receiving, playing with things like how much data per second, or whether every second, every 5 seconds, recording a new point every sort of 10 meters or 5 meters. It required a lot of playing around with it. The next one, sort of cross-platform with regards to Android and iOS. We found that even though Expo allowed us to kind of develop it cross-platform, there's a lot of individual kind of things that didn't quite work. So logos might work on iOS, for example, but then when we tried loading it up on Android, it just sent the whole screen sort of funny. And we found it very difficult to kind of find these small things to make the app look good that worked on both platforms. The last one was permissions. Again, similar to kind of Android and iOS, the different systems had different permission requirements. So it required lots of kind of in-depth sort of if statements. For example, I think iOS had like a global setting. Once you accepted it once, it was done. Whereas Android, I think you needed to accept it kind of every time you went into the app. So yeah, there was a lot of little finicky things. But overall, I think we kind of, did a good job at handling them. So I'm going to pass you through to Matt now, who's going to talk about what we'd like to do in the future.
Thanks, Ant. So future development. So firstly, we would have added the ability for users to be able to follow their chosen path in real time by creating a map overlay. We also plan to use geofencing technology, so users would be notified when they enter close proximity of a checkpoint. We'd also would have liked to add a search bar as well, so users could filter and search for specifics. We also plan to add a filter as well, so the users would be able to filter once again, but through like statistics such as distance, time, elevation, things like that. And lastly, adding an in-app messaging functionality to our app would take the app to the next level, allowing users to communicate and hopefully plan walks and discuss with each other. And that's about it. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you have any questions, please ask away.